Welcome to this broadcast 2 out of 3, where we dig into why master data, why having a master data service, not just for a short period, because it gives you a much better reach in your collaboration with your customer, with your market, with your suppliers, with your citizens, etc. Today, we are again 2 persons. We should have had a customer case, but it was cancelled due to sickness. So I was lucky to invite you as a subject matter expert, Vicky Froberg.
Yes.
And we have an agenda that takes us through the essence of master data recap from last time. We dig into the why and how, and then we go back to the connected company. That is the goal. And therefore, master data is not only an ingredient, it is a must-have.
Yeah.
A few words on yourself?
Yes. My name is Vicky Froberg. I have been working for Dun Bradstreet for the last 22 years. I started in Global Match Center for the first 15 years of my career in Dun Bradstreet. And now I'm a subject matter expert, as you mentioned, in master data and sales and marketing solutions,
yes,
supporting sales.
So we, of course, have talked a lot the last few weeks. You have seen and sees all the thresholds, but you also are able to advise on what to do and not to do in order to set up the master data roadmap. And therefore, of course, people will think Fellowmind and Dun Bradstreet, are we the same? Do we deliver the same? No, actually, we put we bring what you put on the table as data, we bring them into the organization and into the applications. My name is Michael. I use most of my time across the Microsoft technology stack that we deliver out of Fellowmind. And as you know, we are situated in 6 countries. Very short about Dun Bradstreet. We took a more deep dive into Dun Bradstreet. Can I say one thing in the beginning?
Yes, definitely.
480 million accounts you are rolling on a daily basis. That's even impossible to understand. Yeah. So you've been there for hundreds of years, doing it manually, and now you do it digitally. Few words on Dun Bradstreet?
Yes. Well, the history of Dun Bradstreet, yes, we have been here for almost 200 years. Yes. We are a data and analytics company.
Yes.
We are based and represented locally in all the countries in the world. Yes. However, and we act globally.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and we are approximately 10,000 employees with approximately 200,000 customers.
So a little larger than us, so I don't get into that. But we see this as a strategic offering for people, organizations who want to be connected. We'll get back to that. What do we mean by connected? Well, if you ask a CIO, Gartner asked the latest survey, on top of the agenda, we see digitalization. We would have expected it to be top 5, maybe top 3, but now it's the agenda for strategic business priorities across industries. But what do we mean by connected company? Well, we mean being connected with your market, your suppliers, your vendors, etc., etc. But I found a little sneak peek video that you also can find on our website. I'd like to play it just very shortly for you guys out there, and then we'll go back to why and how.
Pilotless spaceship in outer space.
And a large crowd has gathered outside the court.
So I guess most people get the idea. Society is now connected.
Yeah.
And therefore, what does it take for a company, large or small, global or regional, local, to be connected with the society, with their customers, partners, etc. With it takes several disciplines, especially master data running. If we look at the business application platform that is central to execute the data as part of a digital workplace, we did see a few years ago ERP and CRM as the words around the block. But now we speak of functional areas, and the good thing is that Microsoft has invested the largest investment ever seen on the globe in having this seamlessly connected. If you got the right data.
Yeah.
So today we are talking about a business connected platform, intelligent, running a vast machine of AI and being a part of a digital workplace. And this is what Fellowmind delivers: connected company, workplaces for all roles, from the Teams workplace where you can enter your business platform, or if you work in the field on an app looking at machinery installed 3 years ago. So this is the essence. You said you were the largest data provider in the world. What do you mean by the largest?
Yeah, well, as you can imagine, we hold, as you mentioned, 480 million companies in our database or in our data cloud. And we receive data from different kinds of validated sources, actually from more than 30,000 sources around the world, but locally. And then we put it into our data cloud globally.
Yes.
And each day we have more than 5 million updates on companies. Wow. So that is a pretty heavy machinery that we have. So that's why we are the largest data provider in the world.
So in the Danish territory, the CVR register, the CVR register would be the official national data, right?
Yes. Yes.
You got that in.
Yeah.
Which is a small territory
very small
to the globe.
Yeah.
And I kind of stressed it, but everybody got something running. Everybody has typed in the data. The sellers has different quality, but still we have data. So why do we need master data?
Well, we need master data in this transitioning period, as you mentioned as well, in the digitalization period. We need to automate some of the processes that we have in the companies. So the two kind of benefits that you retrieve from this is the technical perspective. You have a CRM or one data platform to run all your data and the connected people, data and so on.
Yes.
And having, for instance, the CRM becoming a working related tool instead of a reporting tool. And in terms of data, when implementing master data in your system, in this master data platform, you will actually see that the revenue growth, a bigger revenue growth, because due to the decision making is much easier, and it actually is based on facts.
Yeah, and quality.
And quality, yes.
And so reliable data is the foundation for insights and growth. That's a truism. So let's get it. How do you get reliable data?
Yeah, well, first of all, reliable data is the foundation in your system. So you need to rely on the data that you have on your customers, like the know your customer journey, KYC.
Yes.
So what we do at Dun Bradstreet, we start with the initial data cleanse.
Yes.
So we receive a bunch of data, our companies, customers.
Yes. Which is a big chunk.
Yes.
As we just heard.
Yes. Yeah. And we match it up to our data.
Yes.
And then we put a DUNS number on each company from our customers.
Yes.
When this is done, we can then identify duplicates, and we can identify inactive businesses and so on.
Yes.
And then there will be a data enrichment. So we will follow or enrich the all the customers with data
Yes.
that is necessary to make the right decisions.
Yes.
And then in the future, or in the next thing
Once
in
you
the
have
yeah,
done
exactly.
that, yes.
Yeah, you can onboard your customers, new customers, correctly.
What do you mean by onboarding?
So it will be avoiding having more duplicates in your database, because
Like
it's
that?
it's onboarded correctly with a DUNS number, and then you will have all the correct information the first time.
And you
put
mentioned
it in.
DUNS number. We had that last time too. Very shortly, DUNS number.
Yeah.
Seems like an academic issue, but actually Dun Bradstreet was the inventor of the DUNS number system, which is the system in the world.
Yeah.
And very few words on the DUNS number.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah, it's a unique identifier that is invented by Dun Bradstreet, and each 480 million companies that we hold in our database has their own DUNS number. So it is a unique numbering system, and a company will
live and die.
Yes, with the same.
I think you said live and die when we talk.
Yeah, and this is and the DUNS number will never be reused.
Yeah, important.
Yes.
And so this data governance, which most people have tried, everybody thinks they're good at it. We overlap, of course, in our companies in helping with that. But what about data stewardship and internal system architecture? What do you mean by that? So what lies under of work?
Yeah, actually, these are. The next slide, are the 3 pillars that shows the maturity and the readiness for a customer. The first pillar is the internal system architecture, where you need to have this master data platform in place.
Yes.
You need to have the data flow. You need to have the internal processes in order.
And
yes, exactly.
By people.
Yes. And also the next one is the data governance, which is also very important.
Yes.
It's the description of the complete project moving forward. Having the user and the user rights in place, the security, everything around this project. And the last pillar is people and education. Because and that is again very important, because it's what we call a paradigm shift in such a project.
Yes.
And also the people working with our data needs to understand the data as well.
Yes. A mature part of an industry process would be, as you said, KYC, know your customers.
Yeah.
It is mature because you are not compliant if you're not running the KYC processes as asked for by finance or whatever in Denmark or other territories. And then you put in the processes, you define it, you teach your people, and you need the correct data in to be processed by a solution from Fellowmind, for instance.
Yeah.
So, good point. And so, people side, nice to hear. And we also had a lot of preparation and talked. And we talk also around that technology connects, but people make meaning.
Yeah.
One of our truisms out of Fellowmind as well.
Actually, what we do within Dun Bradstreet, we use the mantra "train the trainer."
Yeah. Always work.
Yes.
But what does it take for such an initiative to be a success?
Yeah. So again, depending on the 3 pillars we saw on the previous slide, is the readiness and matureness from the customer.
Yes.
Normally, we see that such a project takes around 3 to 6 months.
Yes.
Depending again on the maturity and readiness of the customer. Yeah.
And you have a lot of roles here on the table.
Yeah.
So why can't 2 people just sit together and say, this is the data model, this is the mapping, etc., etc.?
Yeah.
Why does it take all these roles?
It can't be driven by 2 people only. It needs to have a project manager, some sales persons, some IT development, legal people from legal, the sponsors, because it has to come from the top in a company to drive through the complete organization. So.
And so once you got the master data in good quality, and you got the service running from Dun Bradstreet, so you know that what happens overnight won't mess up. I'm just but if you got hundreds of thousands of data, you don't have to wait many nights, many months before it messes up the quality.
Exactly.
So that's what we are talking about.
Yes.
So once you got that set, you got it cleaned, you got your master data right, and you got the updating service running from Dun Bradstreet, whatever chunks of types of data, the blocks you have chosen. How do you utilize it and get value? We had a talk around that.
Yeah, exactly. So once you have implemented the master data project, now is the time where you actually are going to work with data.
Yes.
Looking into strategic possibilities for your company.
Yes.
And one of these use cases could be our hierarchies.
Yes.
Hierarchies, family trees, linkage. That's the same.
Yes, I learned that.
Yeah. Yes. And hierarchies help customers to understand both in sales and marketing solutions, defining white space and hidden up and cross sells.
Yes.
So we have a lot of use cases in different areas of a business.
Yes. And you just took a snip from a system coming into this one where you looked at a client of yours.
Yeah.
And what we see on the black field is that this client, for instance, has 6 companies that they are engaging with within the NKT family tree.
Yes.
So we're on the right side at the blue area.
Yeah.
So first of all, that's nice to know.
Yeah.
If you have a colleague sitting in another region that you actually are not the only one working with NKT family.
Yeah.
But secondly, also that who are they? And then we talked about, so is that good or bad? And you said leverage and grow your business, see the white spaces. That's what I'm hearing as well.
Yes, definitely.
So actually, you also took
an example
on the company called Indutrade that's also on the blue table.
Yeah.
Well, seems a good thing that they have you have this number of engagement, namely 7.
Yeah.
However, when you have this service, what number do you see? How many companies are Indutrade marked?
Yeah.
I think
so there are actually 467 family members in this organization.
Welcome to the ball party.
Yes.
So that's what we are talking about.
Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know.
No.
So
exactly.
Very, very simple example of a user story that gives you the facts on who are we engaging with. And as you said, you got all the facts on who, what's the ownership, etc. So we get a little back to that as well, because what is important is it who are hit by sanctions.
Yeah.
Is it compliance? Is it the credit facts, or how they're doing in their financial data?
Yeah.
So just to give example of user stories also.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so family tree can be huge.
Yes.
467 is a huge thing.
Yeah.
So what we help you with is to get the right view on that, so you have an easily workable UI based on Dun Bradstreet data.
Yes.
Here's an example you brought to the table as well.
Yes, it's a very small example because General Electric, as we know, are
the General Electric.
Yes.
Okay.
Are very large tree.
Yeah.
But this is just to show you that because hierarchies are very complex, but this is just to show what we deliver to our customers.
Yes.
To link these companies together in a tree.
Yes.
First of all, it's a corporate tree. It means that it has an ownership of more than 50%.
Yes.
We deliver branches. We deliver headquarters, subsidiaries, domestic ultimates, global ultimates. So we deliver everything in within this enrichment. Yeah.
And GE, sorry, thank you for bringing that to the table.
2,000-3,000 members. Yeah.
So to translate it into business functions where you need to be excellent to win market share or stay close with your customers, deliver quality or whatever your raison d'etre in the market is, we are talking about better conditions, fact-based conditions for doing your sales, doing your marketing, doing your service, and doing your procurement.
Yeah.
And you came with an example also in our preparation. So do you know what's your standing at the customer? Not how do they like you, but what's the size
Yes.
of your
Your
engagement,
your total
should
exposure.
we be able to do better contracts, right?
Yes, exactly.
So we have huge global companies, even in the Danish and Nordic regions, that are spread out with hundreds and hundreds of accounts within the same tree. We ask you to take this service in.
Yeah.
And also one of your heads up is get started, but don't do it all.
No, at once.
In a big bang.
No.
Choose the blocks, I think it's called.
Yeah.
The blocks of data that are important, could be compliant. We have proof that our compliant data should be better.
Yes.
Or could be financial data, or could be market data, etc.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's your message, as I understand as well.
We always recommend to start with master data.
Yes.
And then add-ons with finance and risk, compliance data, ESG data, and so on.
Yes.
So yeah, definitely.
And I was just looking if somebody had some questions from the audience. We have time for that. If you have some questions, technical or non-technical, don't hesitate. I can see if you write it. And then I'll just jump to kind of going back to the connected company. So what we are stating before we do a deep dive demo on the next broadcast, really deep dive, is that you need to address the quality situation on your master data. Not only what sales has been putting in or what you had in last year, you need to have a service running if you really want to proclaim to your board of directors you're ready for growth. That's actually our claim.
Yeah.
And you need to have a platform. We suggest Microsoft-based, but Microsoft deals with any major platform out there, ready to deal with that. But you need a platform that can connect the data that you are bringing in as master data. We have other chunks of data coming into for instance, business application platform, and we have AI that constructs data. Just an example, lead score. How do we calculate the lead score based on conversations and sentiments, etc.? So the AI crunching of other collaboration data can be combined, for instance, in your market approach or in your strategic account defining.
Yeah.
However, master data needs to be in place and the service needs to be running.
Yes.
And this is a part of what my Fellowmind now have been helping customers with, namely assessing the connected company readiness. How mature are you actually to be connected? How are you doing on your customer collaboration? How connected are you digitally, data-wise, and also on the other disciplines with your customers? So we see the Dun Bradstreet, not only input, but your services as a strategic, non-negotiable thing you need to have running in order to secure your master data.
Yeah.
We urge you to dig in, to have a view on this, get assessed. Where are you doing? How are you doing? Are you better than the other ones in your market? How's your maturity and readiness for master data?
Yes, and actually,
the other areas we are dealing with in
and
Fellowmind.
actually, we have an offer for everyone who is joining this this live stream.
Yes.
We have a data insight report where we can tell you your data quality and the family tree, top family trees and so on. So actually we have a complete report. So if any of you are interested in having this health scan on your data quality, please reach out to us.
For free.
For free, yes.
So don't hesitate to write us and we'll set this in gear.
Yeah.
That could be a good start to get a facts-based view on this one.
Yeah.
I think we have said it a few times, but wrapping up, step into the facts around your master data. Maybe it's not you who should drive it, but talk to the right colleagues. And you have been there for hundreds of years around master data, but to have it digitalized, this is now not only a really difficult project. We have a roadmap for that, connecting our services. Finally, we would like to tell that next time we'll do a deep dive on the optimizer, which is a more market oriented service. So you get your market data right on your customers, to do the right marketing and to do the right.
Yeah, but it is really a master data tool, making sure that you onboard your customers correctly and making sure that data is updated all the time. Yeah.
Yes. So, leaving a few minutes left, I'd like to see if we have had some who tiptoed on a question. And let me see. We haven't had that yet. I think we will save you some time then. I think it's the first time out of, I think we have been in the studio 20 times. So please know that I'm saving the listeners' time. Don't hesitate to contact us. Thanks for your not only heads up, but also for making us understand that these are disciplines that now you can bring into your organization. Master data assessment, master data cleaning, and then the service to have it rolling overnight.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening in. Thank you for daring to step in the studio, Vicky.
Yes.
The real
You're
voice
welcome.
from the field.
Yeah.
Looking forward to see you again next time. And that will be the 21st of September, where we will do a lot of demo on the Optimizer Dun Bradstreet app, connected and plugged in to Dynamics 365 business applications.
Yeah.
Thank you.